Okay, I just finished watching Survivor Series 2020. I hope you don't mind. I'm gonna kind of skip over the Undertaker tribute thing. It was a tribute, and there were a few people there. It was kind of nice to see the likes of Savio Vega and the Godwins again, but it wasn't on the level of Ric Flair or anything like that. I mean, I'm guessing the pandemic probably played really heavily into that. So, yeah, not really a big surprise, but yeah, it was pretty generic and bland, unfortunately. I mean, it was nice, but it obviously, wasn't spectacular. Anyway, going into the kickoff show, some weird things were happening. I mean, obviously, the Undertaker's retirement was kind of the main focus of it, but early on, Booker T on the kickoff show seemed to think that because it's champion versus champion, that makes it title versus title, which no, it wasn't. Instead, it was just just kind of weird. Anyway, obviously, Drew McIntyre defeated Randy Orton last week to regain the WWE Championship. I don't know what exactly they're going to do with this because they didn't really build much onto that at all from this. We did have a kickoff show match, which I don't have a picture for, so basically this was a dual branded battle royale. There was, from what I gather, about 20 guys in this. It seemed at least, I think I counted up to them. Like I said, there was no picture for it, so I can't say, everyone entirely. I'll try to get this through as quickly as I can. Anyway, Dominic Mysterio was in that. He eliminated John Morrison right off the bat. Cedric Alexander eliminated Kalisto. Dolph Ziggler eliminated Rey Mysterio. Angel Garza eliminated Humberto Carrillo. The Hurt Business then teamed up to eliminate Angel Garza. Ricochet eliminated Cedric Alexander. Shelton Benjamin eliminated Ricochet, but then Apollo Crews eliminated Shelton Benjamin. That eliminated the Hurt Business's presence in the Battle Royale. Rude then eliminated Murphy. Dominic then eliminated Rude. Dominic eliminated Ziggler after that. Nakamura then eliminated Apollo Crews. Jeff Hardy eliminated Shinsuke Nakamura. Hardy then eliminated Elias, and that left us the final four of Dominic, Jeff Hardy, Chad Gable, and The Miz. As this was happening, Gable eliminated Jeff Hardy. Dominic and The Miz were fighting. It looked like Dominic may have eliminated The Miz, but in reality he sent Miz out under the bottom rope, not over the top, and so Miz was still technically in it. So Dominic turned around, he managed to eliminate Gable, but then Miz slipped in behind Dominic and threw him out of the ring to win the Battle Royale. And that was basically all The Miz did for the night. I'll tell you this right now, if you were expecting a cash-in, it didn't happen. I guess it's probably going to happen tomorrow on Raw, or, well, today as I'm recording this. It's going to happen on Raw because this is that marking the 10th anniversary of his cash-in on Randy Orton. So yeah, that was the extent of the Miz's presence. It was a pretty bog-standard Battle Royale. There weren't any real stakes except saying that you won the Battle Royale. I mean, it's not like there was a title shot or anything involved in that. I do kind of wish they had maybe done something to boost it up a bit. Like, again, I would have had Big E go into it and maybe win that, and then you could use that as, like, leverage to get him into, like, the Intercontinental title picture or something of that nature. Just could have been better. And now moving on to the show proper, we opened up with the Men's Survivor Series match with Team Raw consisting of AJ Styles, Matt Riddle, Keith Lee, Sheamus, and Braun Strowman against Team SmackDown of Baron Corbin, Kevin Owens, Jey Uso, Otis, and Seth Rollins. So basically I'm just going to do the eliminations here. I won't get too in-depth in the match, just again to save on time. Right off the bat, Rollins was the first eliminated. Basically, he gave himself up to Sheamus. Like, Sheamus tagged in, Kevin Owens was in the match, and then Rollins insisted he be tagged in. And the second he walked up to Sheamus, he got down on his knees and says, you know, I can't remember if it's do your job or something to that nature. And basically Sheamus just broke kicked him and pinned him for the 3 count. So yeah, Rollins was eliminated right off the bat. Owens then got stunners on all of Team Raw except for AJ Styles, who hit him with a phenomenal forearm to eliminate Kevin Owens. Riddle then hit his corkscrew moonsault thing. I can't remember what it's called, unfortunately. I think it's the Bro 50 on Baron Corbin to eliminate him. Otis dodged a splash from Braun Strowman. Strowman hit a power slam on Otis to eliminate him. That left only Jey Uso. Jey tried to put up a good fight, but Keith Lee hit him with a spirit bomb for the 3 count of the victory. So yeah, Raw gets a clean sweep. Not a very, not a very effective means of getting things done there. Really, yeah. It was funny because you had the whole storyline in this was basically, as much as Team Raw didn't seem to get along that much, they were a way more cohesive unit and acting like a team than Team SmackDown, which was Jey Uso just thinking he could cobble the people together and lead them when he really, really couldn't. And yeah, again, no one would listen to him. Everyone tried to be the captain, but no one was the captain. And so because of that, they lost. And it even comes back to Roman Reigns later as he confronts Jey and says, you made SmackDown look bad, you made the family look bad, and by extension, you made me look bad. So you need to rectify this. Like I said, it did a real good job of story building, at least in that point. Okay, our next match is the New Day versus the Street Profits. Funny thing, Big E actually came out during the entrance for the New Day, even though he's not with the team anymore. He's on SmackDown and they're on Raw. And then he mysteriously vanished, never to be seen again afterwards. So they all came down in their Gears of War 5 gear that they have for their DLC. But yeah, right off the bat, both teams are kind of like building each other up with compliments. Ford countered a boom drop into an enziguri. Xavier hit Dawkins with a bulldog off the apron. Kofi tossed Ford. Side. Oh boy. Oh, he taunted Ford with the solo cup at one point. Xavier had him, I think it was in a half crab. Ford hit a jumping DDT on Kofi. Dawkins hit Xavier with a butterfly neck breaker. And then they go for the midnight hour on Xavier, but it got broken up. Dawkins broke up a Trouble in Paradise, and Ford hit a frog splash on Kofi, but took too long to pin him. He only got a 2 count. There was a great give and take back. Xavier hit a gut check. And then the Profits got up and hit Xavier with a super blockbuster for the 3 count of the victory. Really great match. Definitely great pacing. Good action. Both teams looked credible. It was really a toss-up type match. And, I was a little surprised to see the Street Profits win. I kind of thought, well, they'll probably just give it to the New Day again, because as much as the Street Profits are over, the New Day is a bit more over, but it seemed that, again, I kind of like that there was sort of a passing the torch moment, and now it's time, I think, for the Street Profits to maybe start leading the tag division a bit more. So I think that worked out really well, and it was a really good match. Like I said, it was just great. After that, we had Sami Zayn versus Bobby Lashley. Right off the bat, Sami kind of realized he was in way over his head. He was saying, "Oh, I'm going to win this match. I guarantee it. I know I can win this." He crashed the kickoff show again. Right off the bat, he tried to stick to the ropes, but the Hurt Business basically taunted him away from that. Lashley hit Zayn's head off the turnbuckle. Zayn did get a few more bits in. He caught him with an elbow from the second rope. He hit a big drop kick. He shoved Lashley into the ring post. Basically, at one point, Lashley hit an elevated flatliner. Zayn rolled out of the ring, was trying to goad the Hurt Business into attacking him so that they would get DQ'd, but that didn't happen. They just stood there. And then another point, he tried to get counted out, but again, they just kind of bullied him back to the ring. He got, at one point he tried to turn and run up the ramp, and MVP was sitting there, and he pretended to trip over MVP to again try to get everyone eliminated, but it didn't happen. And the ref wasn't paying attention, so MVP grabbed him and threw him back in the ring, where Lashley locked on the full Nelson and Zayn tapped. So yeah, good things in the match. The match itself was a little kind of weak and too predictable. At least they managed to work in a good job. And again, Zayn was such a heel in this that it just, like, he was so bad, like even the other heels don't like him, and it just, that worked really well, but that was about the only thing that really worked in the match. Okay, our next match is Asuka versus Sasha Banks, the Battle of the Women's Champions. Sasha, right off the bat, blocked a hip toss and hit one of her own. Tried to lock on an arm breaker. Asuka fought out of that. She tried to lock on the Banks table, and Asuka fought out of that. Asuka hit a fireman's carry. Tried to put her in the Asuka lock. It didn't quite take. Sasha hit a tilt-a-whirl into a backstabber. Asuka hit a body scissors into an ankle lock. Sasha countered a hip attack into an arm bar. They got to the outside of the ring. Asuka knocked Sasha off the ring apron with a hip attack. Asuka hit a code breaker off the barricade. Sasha came back in a backstabber through the ropes. Asuka countered with another code breaker through the ropes. Asuka went for another hip attack, but Sasha managed to catch her and got a victory roll up for the 3 count in the victory. And it's a bit of a surprise, I think. I think a lot of people had pegged Asuka into going into this, but I guess Sasha just winning the championship maybe had a bit more momentum. Definitely a pleasant surprise. A really good match. Definitely both women were evenly, came across very even. It was really hard to tell who would have the advantage at one point. I think having that roll-up finish really plays into it more, because it looked not so much fluky, but it looks like, you know, Sasha had a bit more wily tricks in her bag to get through, and I think that just worked a lot better than anything else would have, or having her pass out or anything of that nature. And that leads us to our next match, which is the Women's Survivor Series match. Team Raw, consisting of Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, Lana, Peyton Royce, and Lacey Evans. Team SmackDown consisting of Bayley, Natalya, Liv Morgan, Ruby Riott, and Bianca Belair. So yeah, again, I'm just going to stick to the elimination parts on this. At one point, Lana did blind tag in on Nia, and Lana hit a few moves here and there, and then Nia immediately tagged back in, and the others said, "You," all screamed at her, just wait on the ring steps and not compete in the match at all. So Royce superplexed Bayley onto the others to the outside of the ring, got her back in, and hit the gourd buster for the 3 count of the victory. So yeah, Bayley got eliminated right off the bat. That was a real stunner there. Natalya then came in and put Royce in the sharpshooter. Peyton Royce tapped out. Lacey came in and hit Natalya with the women's right, so Natalya got eliminated. Baszler locked Ruby Riott in the rear naked choke. Riott tried to counter into a pinning attempt, but unfortunately she passed out before the ref could count 3, so they had to call her out. And that left only Liv Morgan and Bianca Belair. Morgan did manage to catch Lacey Evans in a crucifix pin for the 3 count of the victory, to eliminate Lacey Evans. Nia Jax hit Liv Morgan with a Samoan drop and eliminated her. Baszler locked Bianca Belair in the rear naked choke, but Bianca reached out and grabbed the ropes just enough and actually collapsed, and because she passed out, Baszler kept the lock on and got counted out for breaking the ropes, basically, not responding to the ref's 5 count. So Baszler got DQ'd. Bianca Belair managed to rally just enough to fight back and keep keep Nia Jax from hitting a Samoan drop on the announce table. They fought to the outside of the ring. She hit a Hurricane Run and sent Nia Jax over the barricade. Unfortunately, this meant that neither of them hit the 10 count, and so they were both eliminated together, which means the sole survivor was Lana, who won by the two greatest words in the English language. Default! Default! So yes, Lana stood there celebrating in the ring. Nia Jax looked absolutely incensed, but yeah, no, that was just how it ended. No, she did not get sent through the, Lana did not get someone dropped through the announce table again. So, I guess that's okay. The match itself, again, like you kind of had this sensation that Lana was going to do something. She was either going to do something to get Baszler and Jax eliminated, or she was going to wind up somehow being the sole survivor. And, well, they pretty much did that, so, at least, I mean, it's kind of memorable. I mean, it's stupid, but memorable. And that leads us into our last match for the evening, Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre. The battle of the lead champions, I guess. Right off the bat, Reigns put McIntyre in a headlock. There were a lot of rest holds early on in this thing. Reigns did catch McIntyre in the jaw with a back elbow. McIntyre came back with several punches. Reigns threw McIntyre into the ring post. In this case, they were on the apron when this happened, so it was a little bit different than what we usually see. Reigns hit a Superman punch onto McIntyre's jaw. McIntyre came back in a suplex, followed up with a neck breaker. Reigns hit a Samoan drop. McIntyre hit a spine buster and rolled that into a jackknife pin. McIntyre hit, countered a Superman punch into a Future Shock DDT. Reigns came back and hit another Superman punch. McIntyre actually countered a spear into a Kimura lock. Reigns just got to the ropes. Reigns hit two Samoan drops on the announce table, sending McIntyre through the second time. Reigns speared McIntyre through the barricade. McIntyre came back and hit a Claymore on Reigns, but sent Reigns into the referee, which knocked him out of the mat, knocked him out of the ring. At this point, Jey Uso came down just as Roman Reigns hit a low blow on McIntyre. Jey super kicked McIntyre, and then Reigns locked on a guillotine, and McIntyre passed out to win the match. So, yeah, that's how that ended. Like I said, no Miz cash-in, no Orton interference or anything. I mean, we got enough interference there. I did like this match. Again, I think this does some really good story building. It really helps, again, making Roman Reigns just look like now he's an unstoppable heel. He's got at least Jey. He's probably got Jimmy in his back pocket now. They've earned their place back at the family table. And so it's just now, it's like it's really solidified him even further. Like I said, I don't know what they're going to do with McIntyre now, but if we're going to get McIntyre, Orton, and Miz, probably a TLC or something. That's on December 20th. The War Games for NXT is on the 6th, so those are your next wrestling shows. Like I said, I don't know if, like, again, I'm guessing, again, they've all been saying that Miz has been, they're centering it around Miz cashing it in on the anniversary of his first cash-in. And if he wins, okay, whatever. I do have to wonder where they're going to do, because I could see WrestleMania being main evented by Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre, because at this point that's something I think people really want to see. People responded really well to it, so like I said, yeah, that's something people do want to see. So again, I think that's where that seems to lay. I know I'm getting repetitive here. I'm sorry, I'm getting really tired. So yeah, overall I'm going to give Survivor Series 2020 a B. Again, there were a couple clunker matches in there. Just, yeah, the men's Survivor Series match and the Battle Royale at the beginning just, it really did nothing for me. Like, there was some good groundwork for some stories, but other than that, yeah, they didn't really do much. I think the women's job did a better job. The women did a better job of telling a story. The champion versus champion matches all were really well done and really good. I mean, again, Lashley Zayn was pretty weak, but still, that had enjoyable moments in it, so it wasn't really a chore to watch any of this. Like I said, I hope you don't mind me skipping over the Undertaker tribute. It's just, yeah, it was just a tribute, and all it did was really tack on another half an hour to this that really didn't need to be tacked on to it. So, sorry. Like I said, I give it a B, and in a couple weeks we'll be here again for NXT 4 Games. I do have to wonder, they're going to set that up. Is that going to be in the Thunderdome? Will that be the last show in the Thunderdome because they're moving it to Tropicana Field? Or, I mean, I don't think they could do War Games in the Capitol Wrestling Center. It's not big enough. Anyway, after that, next video is going to be Animaniacs. That'll probably be up on Friday-ish. I don't want to say. I have watched a little bit of it. I am enjoying it so far. But yeah, it should be up hopefully by Friday. And then the Rhino Trade review on Spider-Man Torment. See you all next time. Hey guys, remember to check out my Patreon at patreon.com/SleepyTimeForCat Productions, where you can help me expand my wrestling coverage to stuff beyond WWE, NXT, and the occasional AEW free show.